Are you ready?
Audio
welcome to Week 11 in review. We're getting close to the end here. We've got 2 more weeks in store, and we got a battle going on right down to the end. Not a battle like we saw last night on Monday Night Football, but a battle nonetheless. And if you missed that game last night, I think from the Smack Check, about 90% of the owners were on there watching that game, and we were not disappointed. The game was originally scheduled to be in Mexico City. And due to the shape of the field there, they moved the game back to LA, and they had a tribute night for first responders due to the fire situation in California, as well as the shooting where one of the sheriff's department lost one of their officers. So they gave out, I think they said over 70,000 free tickets to first responders and their families in the area. And holy cow, were they in for a battle, and got to see their home team win it. With a last-minute interception, or seconds interception in that game. So crazy game on the field there, which translates to a crazy game in our standings. We had 3 teams, 4 teams actually, with some skin in the game last night, and 3 of those teams were able to benefit from it. So we'll get to that a little bit later in the program here. What else we got here? Playoff battle, like you said, everyone is still in it except officially Gloria Stafford have been pushed out. They can probably play spoiler here over the next 2 weeks. So keep your chin up, Chris. Try to do the best you can for that. Thursday night football, Thursday football. First game starts at 10:30 in the morning. 3 games during the day. Originally set up to the advertising I had up was for to go to Shanks. It was under renovations, and it looks like they haven't completed that yet. So I sent them an email this morning to see if they were going to be up and running, and it sure doesn't look like it from their website and their Facebook pages. So stand by for that. By the time I put this into production, I might have heard back from them. So I will include a note in the email. Okay, so backup plan could be heading up to the Mad Rose Pub in Royal Oak. Went up there 2 weeks ago with Huey Sogs owner Mark. We sat down and watched the Patriots lose and the Redskins win. Had a good time, great food, really nice bartender. And he was up there last week. Huey Sogs took up Mac Daddy this weekend for Bruce, Mac Daddy's birthday. So took him up for a beer and some breakfast up there as well. They watched some games as well. So keep that one in mind. The other one, the old straw, the last straw, could go there. Worst case scenario, commissioner's basement. But we'll see if I don't hear from Shanks, and it doesn't look like they're going to be open. We'll probably look at the Mad Rose Pub. This week also we've had 3 blowouts, one by 69 points, one by 70.5 points, and our dog of the week was blown out by 71 points. So 3 big blowouts and then 3 really good games. So we'll get right to it. We'll take a look at the first of these blowouts in Game 1. It was Tuscany Mayhem at 6-4 taking on Huey's Hogs at 5-5. Mayhem came out of the gate there. They had 6 players better than 20 points or better. I had 2 over 30 points in total. And I was led by Cam Newton, who put up 357 yards passing in his game and 2 touchdowns. And he was closely followed by Monday night's tight end sensation, Travis Kelce, who put up 33 points with 127 yards and 1 touchdown in last night's game.
Of this drive has really gotten Cam Newton going, throwing the football. Newton on first down to the end zone. Curtis Samuel, touchdown.
On the other side of the ball, Huey's Hogs started out with a bad break.
Injury. You're going to see a replay. Look away. It is a graphic injury. It looks like Alex Smith has broken his leg. in the city where Joe Theismann's terrible injury, oh boy, terrible injury happened.
Literally, as Alex Smith broke his ankle and his tibia and fibia, and as we saw there, carted off the field, and his season is done. And that's a tough break for them as his player on the field, and also as his team that he cheers for are actually playing some of the best football they have in years. So hopefully their backup will be able to help them out Thursday as they take on the Cowboys. Important game there. Anyways, on that side of the ball, Huey's Hogs was led by Antonio Brown, who put up 33 points, 117 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Still on the same drive. 7 and 9. He's got a man wide open. It's Brown. Wide open, a flag down with contact away from AB, and he is able to get past Ramsey at the end to go 78 yards.
Mayhem took this match by 69 points as he took it 176 to 107. Game 2 that we'll look at here was our second blowout. It was won by 70.5 points, and it was Steel Curtain at 7 and 3, hung his drapes over at Jethro's Heroes at 5 and 5, and Steel Curtain came flying out of the gates here. T.Y. Hilton led the charge with 46 points as he put up 155 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns.
Lock, deep shot down the field. T.Y. Hilton. He's got him. Hilton on his feet. 5 and zone. Touchdown.
And he was followed on the ground by Sesquan Barkley for the Giants, who put up 142 rushing yards and got 2 touchdowns as well. I think Jethro's Heroes was sitting at 53 points, somewhere like that, going into Monday Night Football with his 3 players in that matchup in the hunt, but there was no way they were going to get him 150-something points. Jared Goff did put up 49 points on that side of the ball as he put up 5 passing touchdowns and 413 yards in the air.
Knocked it loose. And now Goff, with time, can find the open guy. 3rd and goal. Goff. He's going to run it straight in. Jared Goff.
Heroes lost. Steel Curtain took this one easily by 70 points, 7.5 points, by taking it 210.5 over Jethro's 140. Steel Curtain joins this year's 200 club and also gets this week's high score with his 210.5. Nice job. Game 3 of the week we'll look at is our dog of the week with a spread loss here of 71 points and part 2 of the Bisels. Connolly's Crusaders at 5 and 5 took on Too Tired at 5 and 5 as well, and this was our second Bisel beatdown of the weekend. Connolly's Crusaders got 3 into the 30-point range, with Zeke Elliott being the top scorer there with 37 points as he put up 122 yards on the ground and 1
Fleming comes in, by the way. Well, Collins got hurt on that last play. And Elliott doesn't care. He breaks 3 into the end zone. Touchdown.
Golladay, who he's been chirping about for a while, finally got him some points as he put up some good points with 113 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. Too Tired got 28 points from Julio Jones.
19-12 Cowboys. So the Falcons need a touchdown, and they're on the move. 2nd down. Ryan going for it all, looking for Julio Jones. He caught it! Touchdown!
Who put up 118 yards in the air, as well as 1 touchdown and 1 very spectacular catch. With a 71-point margin of victory, Connolly's Crusaders take this one 185 to 114. Now to take a look at the 3 games that saw comebacks from behind on Monday Night Football. So not only an exciting game on the field, but an exciting game on the scoreboard for our league. So cheers to that game. We saw Magic School Bus 5 and 5 going to Monday night with a slim lead over Lucas at 5-5. I think it was maybe 12, 13 points there, and was a chance he could hold on, but Lucas came from behind on Monday Night Football. In all of 5 minutes, she had the points she needed from Robert Woods to get her the lead.
Play of this opening drive for the Rams. Goff. Plenty of time, walks into the end zone, and touchdown, Robert Wood!
And Magic School Bus was led by Devontae Adams, who put up 166 yards. Didn't get any touchdowns. Well, Lucas got 27 points from Aaron Jones, the running back for Green Bay, who put up 103 yards of combined passing and rushing yards and 2 touchdowns.
Blitz. Packers pick it up. Down the field it goes for Adams. Devontae Adams inside the 20. Little toss to Jones, running right. Good blocking, touchdown.
Our next matchup that saw a come from behind on Monday Night Football was Inglorious Staffords at 3-7, taking on Forsy's Fockers at 4-6. I think the Fockers thought that they'd lost this matchup and were out of the playoff picture, and the season was done. And then out of nowhere, Tyreek Hill for Kansas City puts up 55 points on 215 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns.
He's got him for the touchdown. Does he ever? Mahomes to Hill.
To get him a win and throw his name into the playoff picture once again. And Gloria Stafford's really had no shine on his team. No standouts, and Gloria Stafford is the first person officially out of the playoff picture. So, Forsy's Fockers takes this matchup 122.5 over 100, and that 100 score is also this week's low score. In our game of the week, we saw the birthday boy, Mac Daddy's Madhouse at 6-4, taking on Acadian Assassins at 4-6. Going into Monday Night Football, Mac Daddy was up by 40 points. He still had Kareem Hunt to play, and Acadian Assassins had Patrick Mahomes and Burkhardt, the kicker for Kansas City. So with that matchup, I really wasn't thinking Acadian Assassins had a hope. But that crazy Monday Night Football game saw Patrick Mahomes post 478 yards in the air, 28 on the ground, and 6 touchdowns to put up 59 points.
Oh, Kansas City. Crossing route, Conley, touchdown Chiefs.
Well, Mac Daddy got 43 points from Drew Brees, who also had a good day with 4 touchdowns, 363 yards on the ground.
On first down, little shoulder fake. Thomas, what a throw!
Mike Evans and Stephon Diggs also put up 35 and 36 points respectively. It was a tough loss for Mac Daddy, who on his birthday he probably thought he had it in the bag. But as soon as that birthday was over, the Acadian Assassins came and snatched that victory out of his hands. And all of it was Butker's 7 points for her kicker was the difference in this matchup, as the Acadian Assassins take this win, get themselves back into the playoffs, as she beat Mac Daddy 180-174 in this week's Game of the Week. Looking at the playoff pictures as it stands with 2 weeks left to go, right now we would see Steel Curtain at 8-3 on a bye, and on the Western Division, 6-5, Too Tired would also get a bye, and then we would see Tuscany Mayhem, Mac Daddy's Madhouse, Conley's Crusaders, and Jethro's Heroes, who's still holding on to that last playoff spot. So that would be our look at the next playoff picture right now. So with our standings up, you see Steel Curtain leads the whole league at 8-3, and then followed by myself at 7-4. Conley's Crusaders and Mac Daddy's Madhouse are at 6-5. Magic School Bus sits down there at 5-6, still in the playoff hunt. And out of the playoffs officially, it would be Gloria Stafford's at 3-8. On the other side of the fence, we see Too Tired at 6-5 lead the West, and then followed by an entire gaggle of 5-6, who are all in the playoff picture and all have dates with some tough teams, and we'll see how that lines up next week. So with that in mind, here's a look at next week's games, and you can conclude the importance of these. But right now we have Tuscany Mayhem at 7-4 taking on Forcing Sparkers at 5-6, and ESPN has this matchup at like a 40-point lead for myself at this point. Conley's Crusaders at 6-5 take on Acadian Assassins at 5-6. That also looks to be a bit of a blowout right now on ESPN projections. And luckily for Conley, Patrick Mahomes on bye next week. So Ben Rapsberger will be leading the helm for Acadian Assassins next week. Steel Curtain at 8-3 takes on the leader of the other side. It's Too Tired at 6-5. This is going to be a close matchup, and this will decide Too Tired's fate probably on if they can continue with that bye through into the next round. And Gloria Stafford's at 3-8 are trying to play spoiler and knock last year's champ out of the playoffs. Jethro's Heroes at 5-6. Jethro has the Rams on bye, so he's lost 3 big players for him. And so if there was a week for Inglourious Staffords to pull up their socks and make a knockout punch, this would be it. We've got Magic Skull Bus at 5-6, battling for his playoff life as he takes on Huey's Hogs at 5-6. This matchup is a close one as well, and it will depend on whether Baker Mayfield will step up to the plate, as Huey's Hogs lost Alex Smith this week to that leg break. And at the bottom we see Mac Daddy's Madhouse at 6-5 taking on Lucas Kickers at 5-6. And Lucas needs a victory here to keep her playoff hopes alive, and if not, Mac Daddy will drop into a pile of 6-6s. So hopefully that game is also super close, tight one to call, good one to watch, and should be exciting. I have next Tuesday off, so I expect to get a video out next week as well, as we'll be leading into our final week after that. For bye weeks and teams playing, remember Thursday, if not reiterated enough, is American Thanksgiving, and hopefully somewhere during the day you can see some of the owners pop in for a drink or some turkey at some location that I find out about. If I don't have a definitive answer by the time I put this video out on YouTube, I will definitely have an email out in the next day to let people know if they want to show up, where they can find the commission, more likely Huey's Hogs. So we have the Bears and the Lions kicking off their traditional matchup at 10:30 a.m. We've got followed by the Cowboys taking on the Redskins. Very important matchup in this game, as either one of these teams are fighting for that divisional first place at 2-3. Oh, sorry, at 2:30. And then we have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New Orleans Saints. And that should be hopefully another air show. And that is at 6:20 start. Monday Night Football sees the Tennessee Titans taking on the Houston Texans. And we have 2 teams on bye this week, and they deserve it because they gave us one hell of a football game last night. We see the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Rams both on bye. That's it for the commish. 2 weeks left in the regular season, and battle down to the wire looks like once again. So another great season, and at least this time I'm on the top looking down instead of the bottom looking up. So good luck to everybody coming up this week. Have a great weekend, and hopefully no more leg breaks, because those are gross to watch. Take care, and I hope to see you guys Thursday.